Welcome back. For once, the store windows aren't filled with electronics and computer games, but dolls, stuffed bears, and all manners of wood-crafted oddities. Othello's Antiques? An antique store? Well, if there's anything in this town that'd suit Hanako, I guess it'd be here. I reach for the old-looking door handle, but pull back at the last minute as I realize my companion's gone adrift. Not coming in?
I'll just be in the newsstand for a while. Don't mind me.
His voice makes it painfully clear he has zero interest in what's in the store, and that he doesn't feel obligated to follow me. Screw you too, Hideki! You piece of poop! As he wanders off without another word, I push the thick wooden door and enter the store, a bell above me ringing out. The musty smell of old books and wooden shelves is distinctly anachronistic. I look to the counter beside the door. The graying man behind it sits there silently, reading a tattered book. He certainly fits the look of the place. Slowly wandering through the aisles, the person I'm reminded of as I inspect each handcrafted or important oddity, in turn isn't Hanako. Crouching down, I examine the ancient oak desk inside the shop window. At least 30 dolls, all varying wildly in size and make. The only similarity between them is the long Victorian dresses they wear. I turn the price tag of one of the books to be about waist height. It's not in my price bracket at all. I do the same for each of them, getting more and more depressed as they get smaller and smaller in size. That is until I reach the very smallest one. It's affordable, just, yet of quality make and with long auburn hair and a little blue dress. I decide that it's the kind of present Hanako would appreciate, pretty looking and far from gaudy. After I carefully pick it up, I decide to keep looking around the store. I'm not sure whether it's because I like the atmosphere, or out of simple curiosity. Peeking around the corner before I go to the next aisle, I see that the shelves in this one are stocked with wooden toys, from toy cars to intricate automatons. Tucked behind the line of nutcrackers, I notice a little plain wooden box. It feels surprisingly light as I pick it up with my free hand. Don't do it, Hisao! It's the mystery box! You unleash hell upon us all! Oh, never mind. Wait. This could still be bad. It could be the music box from Fable. And then, the guys, you'll unleash hell upon us all! The lid only needs the smallest movement to pop open. The little metal drum inside begins to rotate immediately. For seconds on end, I simply stand there listening to the palm-sized melody. As it plays, I take the tiny price tag in my fingers and bring it up to my face. The minuscule cursive writing takes some effort to read. It's affordable, sort of. Grimacing slightly, I close the lid and make my way to the counter, with the doll and music box in hand. When I lay the two on the counter, the man behind it sits up and takes stock of them. He doesn't hide very well his surprise at someone of my age buying them. It's painful, but I hand over the money for the two and leave the store with a small opak bag in hand. Shut up and take my money! But please give it back! Hideki being there takes me by surprise. Oh, aye. I thought you'd be at the newsstand.
Akira gave me a call. She's waiting for us at the fountain with Lilly.
At least that solves the issue of trying to find them again. We head off back to the fountain. Hideki's immaculate posture and presentation, despite his appearance, makes for a strange contrast even as we walk. Lilly and Akira stand there waiting for us, their faces hard to read. Hey, you two go. You ready to go, shorty? Hideki's mood seems to improve as he rejoins her. See you, Lilly. Hisao, tell Hanako I said happy birthday. We will. Bye. Goodbye, Akira. And with that, the two disappear into the phrases of the afternoon city crowd. Fracas. Turning to Lilly, I notice she's carrying a small bag. It's now that I realize why her disposition felt different from before. While Lily's typically the type to wear her emotions on her sleeve, her expression and tone are clouded and difficult to read. It's more than a little off-putting, but given the effort she's making to hide her emotions, I doubt she wants to be concerned on why she's feeling that way. Already bought Hanako a present? Yes.
Have you?
Yeah.
Shall we head back to the bus stop then?
Okay. There should be a bus back at Yamaku pretty soon. And with that, we begin to walk. It feels strange compared to before. Lily's hand on my forearm feels unusually tense, and the whole atmosphere is extraordinarily awkward. The silence continues for a long while. I really don't like seeing her like this.
Hanako's birthday party is going to have to be held earlier. Is the 4th going to be alright with you?
I have no other possible obligations anyway, so I reflectively nod. Only afterwards do I remember that doing so is pointless, and quickly answer so by speech. She tries to collect herself, a task that looks almost pitiable in how plain it is to see how distant her thoughts are.
Sorry, Hisao. You said the bus would be coming soon, right?
That's right. But now that she says that, I have an idea. Actually, do you have anything to do later today?
I don't believe so. Why do you ask?
This is the point where I'd normally take your hand and rush you somewhere, but even without that, you'll have to trust me, okay? I take her hand and gently lead her on, her distant face replaced by one of mild surprise and curiosity. As the waitress sets the cup of tea and cup of coffee that I'd ordered onto the table, I thank her before she takes her leave. Truth be told, I really lucked out in finding this cafe. I didn't really know where I was going, rather I was just looking for any cafe that looked relatively nice. Having managed to recover a little, Lily's tentative sips at the cup as I take a long gulp of the coffee in front of me. As I hoped, her face lights up as she realizes what flavor it is.
Oh, this is wonderful. Hisao, how did you know that this was?
I'd asked for French vanilla black tea, hedging my bets that it would be her favorite flavor, or at least one she liked. While I don't really know much about tea, it sounded like one she might appreciate. On the basis of her liking vanilla ice cream, a tea connoisseur I am definitely not. It was a lucky guess. You really like tea, don't you? She puts her teacup down and gives a tiny nod, that familiar small smile thankfully perched on her face once again.
Drinking tea is calming, I think.
With the amount you drink, are you sure you're not addicted to it? Caffeine addiction's pretty common nowadays.
Did I ever say I wasn't?
She lets out a little giggle as my head drops. We all have our vices, I suppose, and there are worse things to be addicted to. Ah, Lily. French vanilla black tea, huh? I'll have to remember that. For a while we both silently drink. It's comforting to have someone like her nearby in such new surroundings, even if it's just the two of us sitting in silence. I begin to wonder if this feeling is the same for her, until she sets down her cup.
Hisao, do you mind if I asked you a slightly odd question?
That depends on the question, I guess.
I was wondering what your favorite color is. Everyone has one after all.
If I remember, I think Lily's favorite color is green. I almost reply before realizing why the seemingly mundane question is actually quite strange. My favorite color, but she gives a pouting look, wanting me to answer anyway. While the answer seems unavoidably wasted on her, there isn't any harm in giving it. I've always had a thing for green. I'd say that's my favorite. Damn it! Green was not Lily's, it was Hisao's! Son of a bitch.
Green, is it? What things do you think of when contemplating that color?
I suppose grass fields and trees in summer. The army as well, with camouflage.
Men always seem to like the military. But that sounds like a nice color. A very nice color.
She nods her head a little, as if approving of the choice. Considering how foreign the concept of color is to her mind, labeling it by association seems reasonable enough. If everyone has a favorite color, then what's yours?
White. I'm told that's the color of snow and ice cream.
You're no better than me then. If you only like that color because of a favorite food, I guess white is nice too though. And speaking of colors, it'll be getting dark soon. Let me help you up. Lily offers her hand, which I take in mind to help lever her up from her seat at the table. Its softness compared to mine takes me off guard, as I'm really not used to such casual contact. It doesn't seem to bother her at all though, while it seems obvious why. It feels like just one more ladylike aspect of her. As her hand moves to her pocket, I quickly cut her off. Don't worry, I'll pay for this.
Oh, thank you, Hisao.
She gives an earnest smile at the gesture, a reward much greater than that of her words. By the time we step off the bus, it's well and truly dark. We make our way up the hill in silence, both of us behaving a little awkwardly, probably because of today's events. While I'm still concerned over Lily's withdrawn nature after meeting with her sister, the fact that I managed to cheer her up even slightly feels like a personal victory. But it feels like the air between us has changed. Maybe it's only a bit, but it's something I don't think either of us realized before.
That was a date, wasn't it?
It was. That doesn't elude either of us, the question's answer being so self-evident as to be rhetorical. Awkward as it may be, I don't think this feeling is bad. In fact, quite the opposite. I don't know what it is. I certainly can't be sure. But it feels like something a little more than friendship. Understanding, empathy, searching for words to adequately describe it is difficult, nonetheless. Would you like to do this again sometime, Lily, without shopping for presents? The tentative question is met with the same look from Lily as before. Her pale skin makes the rosy tint of her cheeks just slightly more noticeable in her face, though still pointed to the street ahead of her, lowers just a little.
Okay.
That was nice. I want some ice cream now. Damn. I walk down the hall of the girls' dormitories, my school bag in hand. A doll lies inside, carefully placed on top of a small box. I've been carrying the box in there for a while now, still not sure what to do with it. The whole situation, come to think of it, is bizarre. While I've known of Hanako's upcoming birthday party for a while now, I had no idea of exactly what the celebrations would be until I found a single note left on the abandoned tea room earlier today. I hold it up and read it again, double-checking the instructions. The plain black handwriting's fairly legible despite Lily's blindness, clearly thanks to considerable effort and care.
Hisao, we'll be holding a party at my place. Please come at 6 o'clock to room 225 in the girls' dormitory. Sorry for notifying you this way, but I have class representative duties. Lily Satel.
Not reassured, I continue walking down the hallway until I reach Lily's dormitory room. I hesitate for a second, but eventually give 3 sharp taps on the door. A brief and muffled exchange of words can be heard from the other side. Listening closer, I can just pick out Hanako and Lily's voices. As they finish, Lily calls out,
Might that be Hisao?
"Yep, I got the note you left for me."
You can come in. The door is unlocked.
Glad that I managed to get the right room, I press down on the handle and let myself in. As the door swings open, my greeting to them is stolen from my mouth. Beautiful. Lily sits at a low table in the center of the room in her pajamas, while on the other side sits Hanako in a nightgown. Being dressed in only my normal suit clothes, I feel quite out of place. The signs of maturing as a man is not only appreciating boobs, but learning to appreciate butts, legs, and the face. You must appreciate every part of the woman. That is the sign of being a man. I steal a quick glance at the lovely side of the two, my eyes tearing themselves from Lily's long, thin, and pale legs only with a measure of reluctance. Hi, I think I brought everything that was needed. She smiles and nods. I wonder if she's even aware of the pleasant sight she makes. The thin, dark blue silk of her pajama really suits her, accentuating both her eyes and her curves. The look of her last night, that tentative and almost shy demeanor, seems all but replaced by her coy nature. It's nice to see her confidence returned, though I can't help casting my mind back to how she looked back then. I look to Hanako, who nervously sits opposite in her gown. It isn't a surprise that she'd wear something so conservative, though it definitely looks cute. Hi, Hanako. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
She's unusually skittish, despite the fact that she's warmed up to me considerably over the weeks we've come to know each other. This is a pretty unusual situation, I guess.
Feel free to take a seat, Hisao. I'll just pour you two some tea.
Sure thing. Lily takes the steaming red teapot from the side of the table and gently pours its contents into our teacups as I take a seat beside them, setting my bag against the nearby wall. With my senses returned and hormones somewhat calmer, I realize that this is the first time I've ever been in Lilly's room. The first thing I notice is the ambient smell, just slightly different from that in mine. Probably faint perfume or nail polish. It could be anything of a girl's, really. I'm gonna end the part there. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later. Peace.